The Missouri Compromise of 1820. Missouri was gained by the United States as a part of the Louisiana Purchase. They petitioned for statehood in 1818. Missouri wanted to be admitted as a slave state. At the time, there are 11 free states and 11 slave states, allowing for the balance in Congress, meaning that the addition of adding Missouri as either a free or a slave state would throw off the balance. At this time, people in the United States had different ideas about slavery. Some pushed to abolish it, while others hoped for the expansion of slavery. The northern states thought that Congress should have the right to prohibit slavery everywhere, while the southerners wanted popular sovereignty, meaning each state could decide for themselves. The country needed to find a way to compromise and keep the balance of power. The maps show the area of Missouri and the rest of the Louisiana Purchase. In order to maintain the balance of power in Congress, a compromise was made. The agreement was that Missouri would be admitted to the United States as a slave state, and the Northern Territory of Maine would be added as a free state, meaning that there would be 12 free states and 12 slave states. North of the latitude line 3630 in the Louisiana Purchase territory, slavery was banned. This limited the spread of slavery but took no steps towards abolition. On this map, you can see the line 3630 where slavery was prohibited above. Missouri was an exception to this, as it was a slave state north of line 3630. You can also see the clear north and south divide with free and slave states and the addition of Maine and Missouri. Henry Clay was a statesman who represented Kentucky in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. He was the seventh Speaker of the House, and he promoted the Missouri Compromise and the agreement of the two sides. James Talmadge was a congressman from New York. He promotes the Talmadge Amendment, which said for Missouri to be admitted as a state, there must be no further slaves imported to Missouri, and all children who were born into slavery after Missouri was added as a state will be free. It was heavily opposed, some deemed it unconstitutional, because it put restrictions on the condition of states entering the Union. Opposition also argued that it was Missouri's right, not Congress's, to decide to allow slavery or not. The Talmadge Amendment ultimately failed. John Calhoun was the seventh Vice President of the United States and was a senator. He was born in South Carolina. Calhoun defended American slavery and protected white Southerners such as himself. He opposed the Missouri Compromise because it limited the expansion of slavery as the nation moved westward. Calhoun shared his beliefs in a speech to the Senate. Daniel Webster was a politician and statesman who represented New Hampshire and Massachusetts in Congress and was a Secretary of State. Webster thought that slavery could not be eradicated where it already exists, but shouldn't start in a new agriculturally barren territories. He viewed slavery as a matter of historical reality rather than a principle. Webster attacked radical abolitionists in hopes to get moderate Southerners to like him. Webster, Clay, and Calhoun's arguments and debates around the Missouri Compromise were one of the most famous discussions in Senate history and the last time these three men would debate. Overall, the Missouri Compromise was a significant part in forming the Republic. It fueled the fire for pre-existing sectional conflict between the North and South slave and free states. The compromise showed that the federal government had jurisdiction over the expansion of slavery. The Southerners' morality, a peculiar institution, was strong and passionate and couldn't be swept under the rug by a compromise. Although it kept a balance of power in Congress, it failed to answer the question of slavery in relation to the future of the nation. This is another map to show the clear divide of slave and free states in the North and the South.